So I know there's been a discussion going around the internet I've seen for the last couple of weeks about how video games could raise to $100, and I don't know how I feel about that. Honestly, they're already at $70 now, and I could afford them if I really wanted to. It's been hard, honestly. I work my ass off, 10 hours a day at a job that I hate for a little bit of money. Um, but I've been hearing debates going back and forth of how about some want video games at $100 and other gamers don't want video games at $100. And I saw a YouTube video about somebody who was making fun of people being cheap because they didn't want to spend $120 on a video game, and that you should want to buy expensive video games because it's good for these multi-billion-dollar companies. And I'm just thinking, like, why? Why do you want to spend more money if you don't have to? It just doesn't make any sense to me, dude. Now I want my games to be good quality production video games. I don't need the most realistic graphics ever. I don't need any of that stuff. Just give me a good game. Most of the games I play recently, besides that I'm playing Black Myth Wukong right now, are Metroidvanias. That's what I mainly play. I love them. I love all sorts of them. Different types of those genre of games. The Last Faith, that's probably my number one recent Metroidvania. That's really good. It's a really good game. I suggest checking that one out and playing that. That is so good if you like Metroidvanias. But I only spent $10 on that on sale. And I'm not saying, oh, constantly wait for a sale or this or that. Just, why do I want to spend more money on a video game? Especially this AAA video games that have been not good quality for the most part. They look good, but they run like crap. They don't run good at all. They just are very buggy. Frame drops happen all the time. Like, I don't want to play that. I remember Cyberpunk came out. I got that on the PS4. And I was so excited to play that game. As soon as I popped it in my PlayStation, I thought it was going to overheat and explode. That game was so buggy. Yeah, and I could say, yeah, people are going to say, yeah, they fixed it. Yeah, they already fixed it. Yeah, it took them 2 years to fix, but still, they dropped the game on their release date to a game that wasn't even finished. And that's my biggest problem with that whole situation of video games in general. Is, are you going to give me value for the money? If you're going to charge me $120 for a video game, then I hope that there's value in that. That the game runs smoothly, doesn't have any bugs, like you try to iron out much as you can, at least make it playable more than the minimum that you have to do to release a game to get on a PlayStation Store or Steam. I think that the video game companies aren't suffering. They're multi-billion-dollar a year companies out there that make a lot of money off microtransactions, season passes, DLCs. Like, it's insane how much video game companies, certain ones, make off of skins alone. Like, people spend thousands of dollars on Star Citizen over the years, and that game hasn't even been released. I don't even think that's even a full release yet. So And the whole talk about should Grand Theft Auto 6 be $80, $100 game. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. Depends on what the content provides you. Honestly, I would say no. You charging 70, okay, whatever. I know that people say that video games haven't gone up with the way with inflation of other things. I mean, geez, eggs are $8. Sometimes, in some weeks I go to the store, my rent goes up $100 every single year. Gas has gone down a little bit in price, and I live in New York, so that's not cheap. I mean, the federal takes $600 out of my check every week, depending on how much I have to work. But I just want to go home and enjoy a video game after working my butt off all day, and not have to think about, man, I really want to play this game, which I don't really buy day one releases that much, but when I do, I don't want to spend $100, $120. I'm fine with spending $70 if the game is worth it. Most of the time it's not, and I'll most of the time wait for a sale. I mean, it took me 6 months to even buy Black Myth Wukong because of the problems I have on PS5. And I can't afford a gaming computer right now, which that's what I'm saving up to do next, because PlayStation's kind of gone downhill, especially in this generation. I don't think I want to do a PS6. I don't know. I like PC. I like a lot of the games that go there. I want to run 120 FPS smoothly. But do I want to spend $100 in a game? No. No, I don't. Not at all. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks like this, but there's a lot of people out there shilling for these big companies saying, yeah, let's spend money, spend more money. Why are you being so cheap? It's like, I'm not being cheap. It's a luxury I get, but I want to be able to play games too. You know, it shouldn't have to be like only certain people can afford it, because only certain people should be able to play them. I think it should be for everybody to want to play a game. And the way the video game industry is going, I don't think it's a smart move, honestly. I think there's been a lot of studio closings. In a lot of situations, gamers are just tired of being stepped on with their products and the value that they are getting out of these video games nowadays. And a lot of the companies aren't giving consumers that. So until I feel like they can prove themselves to give me a playable product on release date with no bugs, for the most part, I'm sure bugs happen, but we all know what I'm talking about. Games come out so crappy, dude, most of the time. Just give us a good game that provides consumers with value. And then people will vote with their wallets one way or the other. But I hope this doesn't become a trend. And I'm sure, just like with, what was it, 2K Games, a couple of years ago, they charged $70. They went up in price with their video game. So most of other companies followed suit. So Rockstar probably will charge that much for Grand Theft Auto 6, as much as they're putting into this game. I've heard this game going up as production going up to like $1 billion. That's insane. Will they release a good product? We'll see. Who knows? But I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this because I'd rather have value out of my video games and the things that I love to do when I'm not at work. I want to have people be able to afford that, so we can have a thriving industry. So I want the video game industry to thrive. That's just what I want. Any real gamer, that's what you want. But to sit here and say, oh, you're being cheap, so screw you, you need to pay more money, is just stupid. It's just dumb. But That's my thoughts on it. See ya.